I know it's been a little while since I gave you guys another episode of Blow the Whistle. Where your favorite coach got to stand 10 toes down on that bush we see going on here in these streets. And you know what? I'm going to start this thing off talking about none other than a famous commentator that enjoys finding ways to articulate his thoughts and views to the masses for them to understand where he's coming from. And in actuality, it's just being a talking point to generate conversation, to bring more attention to themselves. And, you know, as we go through this ride here, we're going to see very quickly how someone can be so reclusive when it comes to just how they handle things in the manner in which, you know, they want to have something to say, but it really doesn't have any substance. I mean, you know, it's kind of like that kid in the front of the class. When you were younger, you're sitting in class and the teacher, would ask questions to everyone in the class. And you had that one individual in the front that always wanted to raise their hand because they thought they had all the right answers. Not understanding that sometimes the answer that you gave was not the right answer, or sometimes you just need to fall back and let someone else come in and speak, or better yet, just understand the room itself as far as everything that was going on. Now, I'm going to go ahead and dive on in this thing because I know you're like, Coach, you sound like you about to go on the deep end. Listen, we're just going to talk for a little while. So if you haven't done so already, please make sure you like, subscribe, tune in, tap in, tell a friend of a friend to come on in this thing. Because your favorite coach back at it again with another episode of Blow the Whistle with your favorite coach, Coach Walker. And guys, I'm just going to tell you right now, this is on the Tomorrow League Sports Network platform. This is where we get to sit down and talk about any and everything that we want to talk about when it comes to sports, NFL, WNBA, Major League Baseball, soccer, you name it. I mean, we could talk about just common things that's going on right now. And we got to talk about this common situation here that continues to, rear its ugly head at the wrong time. We all want to be that person, that guiding light, that beacon of hope that's going to show up and show out for everybody, letting them know, hey, listen, I'm on your side. And I got to be honest with you. This young man here, very intelligent, very, very intelligent. And often I feel like he means well, but then some of the things that come across kind of make me feel like there's a hidden agenda with everything that's being said. I mean, right now we're sitting in a world where there's a bunch of chaos that's going on, and people don't quite understand exactly how this is going to affect everyone. When you're at the top 3%, or better at the top, I'd say top 7% money earners out there, where, your future is bright. Everything is good for you. You ain't worried about walking through the smoke, trying to figure out where your next piece of bread gonna come from, where your next meal gonna come from, how you gonna get that gas to get back and forth to work. You're not worried about none of that. None of that you're worried about at all. But then when you have the individuals that sit there and they tune in to things that you say every day, they are so engulfed in every word that comes out of your mouth, where they just want to be a part of what you're saying. And, now it's coming to a point where people are starting to question, like, is this really real? Well, Stephen A. Smith, there's a guy there, they called you Screaming A. Smith. I'm not going to call you names. You're a grown man. You went to HBCU just like myself. I got to give you your props because you know what? You definitely pulled yourself up by the bootstraps and you got out there and made it happen for yourself. And there's nothing wrong with that. But one thing that I tend to feel that you seem to miss sometimes, because you had to fight so hard to get your little piece across, is that those that are still coming behind trying to fight and come up that ladder as well. The people that's out here in this world that tune in to allow your show to be the number one show, as you say, on a sports show on cable at the time slot that you're in. You forget the fact that these are the individuals that tune in. They tap into what you got to say day in and day out. And I'm just trying to understand, why is it that you feel the need to want to mix that pot that can get real murky? I call it the dumpster juice pot. Because sometimes you think you cutting up, your tomatoes and you cutting up your vegetables and everything to put in the pot. You think, you stirring the pot up like that pot's going to be something good for you to sit down and eat. In which, in honesty, it's a bunch of crap. Because I'm going to start with, what is it about people that has the same complexion for the connection as yourself that you feel that you got to continue wanting to kick their drawers in? I mean, we start with Kwame Brown. Kid coming out of high school. You want to kick his drawers in and you still be kicking them in. Kwame Brown. Trying to find a way to get yourself to where you're trying to go so that you become a household name. You got to understand one thing. When Stuart Scott was there at ESPN, we didn't see none of this stuff. I understand times have changed. I understand that clearly. But the house that Stuart built, he ingratiated everyone that came in. Even if he didn't really care for you, he spoke and said what he had to say, and he moved on from it. But now a lot of things is coming out, from you as personal. I mean, you talked about Kwame Brown to the fact, you want to call a man a bust. How is he a bust? He was in the league, 10, 12, 14 years, something like that? How is he a bust if he's in the NBA that long? A bust only makes it, maybe a season, 6 months, 3 games? Don't even come off the bench? I mean, let's be real here now. I mean, let's talk about it. I mean, it's to the point now where you have other individuals, Roland Martin, Steven Jackson, D.L. Hughley, Willie D. All of these people are now, they're getting fed up with hearing you discuss topics as far as what's going on within the community that you're not even a part of anymore. You don't even pay this community no attention anymore because you got yours. You moved on. You've moved on. You got your piece already. Now, I mean, I'm going to start with Jasmine Crockett because I love the lady. I ain't going to lie to you. I am a fan of hers. Why am I a fan of hers? And the reason why I'm talking about her, because the simple fact is you can relate to where she's coming from. She got people in her district that's sick and tired of being sick and tired. See, everyone looks at what we're dealing with right now as what you may want to call a leader and think that that's the way things go. It's big business. Put everybody in place so that they can get in there. They can make their money. They can continue to keep making the generations of money that they want to make for their families, and everything's cool. But what we fail to understand, the fact is that the people that's below, down in the belly, down in the cup, the bottom of the cup, that teacup, when you sit there, you drinking your tea every day, down there in that very bottom, when you get to the bottom of that damn tea, what's down there? Those are the people right there that help elevate you up. Without them, you don't go. You don't grow. You don't get up every morning trying to find a way to make more money so that you can make more money for your bosses so you can find a way to make some for yourself. So you can find a way to get you some, as you put it. Not only that, but I mean, there's a few other people here that I'm just trying to get an understanding of. Serena Williams, her husband came on the show. And man, yeah, no, I ain't never been married before. I ain't never been married before. I'm sitting there like, brother, why would you even speak on that? Because she was at the Super Bowl on Kendrick Lamar's set during the Crip Walk, or the Sea Walk, excuse me. And it was an issue for you. There's nothing wrong with you giving your opinion. But again, you made it personal. And what you fail to understand is 2022, Drake made a song called Middle of the Ocean, in which basically he rapped about saying, sidebar, Serena, your husband's a groupie. He claimed we don't got a problem, but no, boo, it's like you're coming for sushi. Come on, man. If that man didn't have nothing, if he didn't have anything to say back to that woman or her husband, you wouldn't even have anything to talk about. And I get it. I get the whole stitch, because as long as everybody talk about you, your name's in the algorithm. It don't matter who it is. And even my little channel go help build your algorithm up a little more, because now it's building more people to see exactly what's going on. What's the topic of conversation? See, I'm starting to understand now how this thing works. Give them to talk about you, give them to say whatever it is that they want to say about you, good, bad, ugly, whatever, and they go talk about you, and your name go keep spinning. But I'm trying to understand, with the voice that you have, I saw you at Jackson State Homecoming several years back when ESPN Game Day was there. And you standing out there, you just so proud because you took the company jet to come into Mississippi so that you can come to Jackson State and speak, because Coach Prime was there. But I'm trying to understand, like, you went to Winston-Salem State University, and there's a lot of individuals out there that really feel you are a pioneer of this space because there's so many folks that look up to you as far as your achievements and what you've been able to do. But I'm trying to understand, just like you are a pioneer to others, why can't some of these people be a pioneer to individuals as well? See, when you want to go after the former vice president, Kamala Harris, and I'm really trying, I'm trying to digest the fact that, you talked about her who cares attitude. You talked about late disclosure of concerns. You wanted to criticize her for why didn't she speak up earlier about former President Biden's physical and mental fitness during the election. And I'm trying to understand, what in the hell does that have to do with anything? That's not talking about policies. That's not talking about what you're looking to do for the common man to continue to keep moving this economy and continue to keep moving this daggone country forward. It has nothing to do with none of that. But you found a way to infuse that into your reason why you had a problem with her. I mean, heck, you even went on Instagram talking about she's not a good candidate. Well, sir, who do you consider a good candidate? And please don't say yourself. Because you are so far removed from the people to understand the people's needs. You're not going to do nothing more than what we already got. And you look like me. That's what's sad about this. The very people that's out here trying to help better the situation or make the situation just a little bit more easy, try to ease it just a little bit for the people. You're going to find a way to kick their drawers in just to make it look like you did something out of the ordinary that you really didn't do. This world has dealt with enough broken promises, different lies and things have been told, scandals that's going on. We got to create chaos just because you don't want a scandal to be unfolded. Make it make sense. But the common man, if the common man does this, guess what? We're going to roll on his behind. Why? Because you shouldn't have did it. If you got prestige, finances, and the ability to get out here and get people to move in the manner which you want them to move for you on the chessboard to keep your behind out of trouble, guess what? You're going to do exactly that. You're going to do exactly that. The same people that you sat there and brought on your show when you was talking about Sean Diddy Combs, I'm trying to understand, everybody was kicking a different tune when it came to Jay-Z compared to Diddy. Yeah, Diddy, he did his thing, as far as with the women, whatever have you. And the elevator tape that we saw, that ain't cool, but I got some other things that's on my mind as far as with that. But right now, this man is sitting in jail because of what others did along with him. Why weren't they being ostracized in the manner in which he's being ostracized? We're going to protect that, right? Right. It all depends on who it is. We're going to just let it be. But I say all of that to say this because, I've given a long enough soliloquy to expound my thoughts as far as with where I'm coming from with you, as far as with how things are moving in the manner in which they're moving. See, when people want to come at you based on how you treat folks that look like myself and yourself, you get offended. Same way you did when people were saying that Max Kellerman can come to the barbecue. You got offended with that. See, it's not about trying to chop you down and make you look bad. I'm glad you out here moving and shaking and baking in the manner what you do. My ultimate on my bucket list was to interview you, because there's some things that I really want to understand about you from, when you went through, being at your HBCU to just the road that you've traveled to get to where you are now. This is not about me wanting to come, kick your drawers in or try to embarrass you or anything like that. It's just a simple fact that, brother, what are you doing? Are you that removed from the struggles and the things that you had to go through from where you started at HBCU, which you proudly talk about on your show all the time? Because when Shannon Sharp was there, y'all was talking that HBCU business like no other. Y'all ran that up the flagpole to get to where you was trying to go. But once again, I'm trying to understand, the same people that you use to get to where you're trying to get to is the same people that you want Miss Crockett to basically shut up and find another way to go about trying to handle people that's really out here disrespecting folks that look like you and myself on a daily basis. The way people sit and talk to one another, as far as we're trying to joust and have conversations when it comes to politics that they did when a lot of us was growing up, that ain't happening no more. Because now people want to see. People want to know who's standing 10 toes down for them. They want to know who's blowing the whistle on that bull jive that's going on out here in these streets that's not benefiting their people. You keep toying with the fact that you say you want to run for president. I ask this question. Why are you toying with the people like that? Because I'm going to be real with you. From what I've seen thus far, listening to you talk about all of the different topics that you talked about outside of sports, I couldn't do it. I could not do it in a clear conscience. Say I would vote for you. I'm here to tell you that right now. And you haven't even put nothing on the table. I'm just basing it off of what you've done to individuals that are out here making a difference. Why are you so enamored with wanting to chop them down? Former vice president. She's not a good candidate. The who cares attitude. I'm like, who cares what she has to say at this particular time regarding her memoir? Because she's trying to put her memoir out? You got a problem with that? She lost the election and now pointing the fingers of blame at everyone else instead of herself? Wow. How did you come up with that? Like I said, you love attention. You love attention. You got this game down pat. I ain't gonna lie. I can't tell you no lie. You got this game down pat. Because everybody's sitting there, everybody's talking about it. So it's like, hey, you back in the algorithm again. You moving again. Just like the LeBron James thing. You knew everybody gonna jump out the window with the LeBron James thing. But I will say this though, what Stephen Jackson said is true. You didn't have that smoke for Serena's husband. You didn't. You did not have that smoke for that man. Your behind was quieter than a church mouse, boy, when Mr. O'Haney came at your behind. When Mr. Alex O'Haney came at you, O'Haney, excuse me, I said his name wrong. Excuse me, Mr. Alex O'Haney, and I apologize. I had speaking engagement. Bruh, come on, dog. It come a time. We got to look at the realities and understand. Excuse me, it come a time we have to look at the harsh reality and understand. We got to fall back. It's time to pivot. It's time to pivot. Because what's going on right now is not beneficial. Because the same thing that we watched Diddy and Jay-Z go through, you building up your perch high enough for somebody to come through and kick that bad boy down. And I promise you, you're going to be sitting there looking at this thing like, man, where did I go wrong? And I'm telling you, brother, right now, please find yourself. Because what you out here doing right now is unheard of. But you know what? I'm going to go ahead and let this be. I just had to get that off my chest. I didn't want to come on here talking crazy, reckless, calling you out your name, nothing like that. No, you're Stephen A. Smith. That's who you are. But I'm just trying to understand how are we dealing with individuals that say they want to be of help, be of service. But those that are willing to get out here and do the work right now, you're kicking they back in. You're basically telling them to shut up. And that makes people think that someone got their hand on a stick and they moving your behind around with that stick for you to do whatever it is they want you to do or say whatever it is they want you to say. That's not good. And I know that's not who you are. I believe that's not who you are. I don't know. I'm not gonna say I apologize. I don't know. Because I don't know you like that. But I believe that's not who you are. But you know what? Your favorite coach is going to go ahead and get up on out here. This is another episode of Blow the Whistle with your favorite coach, Coach Walker. Like I said before, like, share, subscribe, tune in, tap in, tell a friend come on in. And hey, until next time, when I got to come back and blow the whistle one more again on this bull job that we see going on out here in these streets, we got to stand for our fellow man. Y'all know I'm going to come back once again. Until next time, we out.